China and business has obviously been a huge part of what I've done and has really given me direction in life. But it doesn't define me. It's given me a vehicle to develop myself, to learn about myself. New Zealand's from an agricultural economy, and there's a joint venture in TLM with the local government. So we set up a cattle farm. We actually flew over 300 cattle from New Zealand on a 747 plane, and we're breeding cattle. So I was the project manager, and I lived on the farm in TLM in the development zone in a small village for about 12 months. The hardest thing was just being the only foreigner and not having the chance to speak English really for a year. And that was before internet. I maybe had a cell phone for about 1 or 2 months at the end of the project. You know, it was very remote. But that's what gave me an in-depth insight into China. The interesting thing about pizza is that there's a good cultural fit with China. And Chinese, it's a round table. All the food's in the middle. People reach in for their food, right? You don't have your own separate plate. Where in the West, you order your own food and it's very individual, where China is always very communal. We use a lot of hand-picked herbs. We're using a lot of imported goods, stuff that, quality ingredients that you wouldn't find necessarily at a chain store. A huge part of Gung Ho is what we call the sustainable development, and it's something which I feel very, very passionate about. We live by what we call the 3 Ps. It's a profit, people and planet, and our accounting is done on those 3 metrics, not just profit. So when a delivery guy leaves to make an order, he'll yell out to the rest of his team where he's going, and the rest of the team yell back, go, go, go. And so go, go in English really means it's like go for it, it's like, jayo. So it's kind of, these guys are tough, they're on the roads of Beijing, it's cold, it's hot, the weather out in Beijing is pretty difficult. So these guys, we give them a bit of a push out the door and a bit of energy to make sure they do a quick delivery. When they come back, they say where they've been and they yell out the time at which they made it, okay? So keeping the time consciousness.
80% of our customers are delivery. So 80% of our brand reputation is made here, all right? So we need to control that as much as possible. It's like, okay, too small, no, okay, it's like, you open the door, okay, how to stand, okay? If you want money, how do you put what you put on the floor? So it's only about 30 seconds, but in 30 seconds, we either win or lose the game.
Yeah, Jiaoban, I guess, comes back again to the attitude. We felt we're a very small company in a very big market. There's a lot of competition, including world famous brands and very big budgets and big teams, and yet we felt we were as good as anybody, and in fact better. So we wanted to have an attitude that was a little bit cheeky, that let people know that we weren't afraid of anybody, that we were small, but bring it on. If I was just living in China just for lifestyle, no other consideration, Kunming would be close to my number 1 option. And then, the Northeast has been a huge part of my life, Dongbei. I enjoy their directness of communication, and I think that's probably more Western than other parts of China. I'd say that, in terms of China and coming here, absolutely. I mean, there's been a lot of sacrifice, without a doubt. I'm aware of that. Coming here as a young guy, and I left a lot of friends, and other friends probably went to London or New York or Sydney and places a lot closer culturally to New Zealand. I chose Beijing in China, and that immediately put me in a kind of isolationist situation. But obviously that's a part of my character. I enjoy frontiers and adventures, and if you're going to do adventures in life, then sometimes you're going to be by yourself.